And we're live. Hey, everyone. I want to thank you for joining us on another Faith It Friday. Tonight, I'm very excited because we have the one, the only, Precious Monet, the founder of Be Her Support. We're going to go ahead and open up and get started. For those of you who are watching the replay, so it won't be like y'all watching and we're waiting for people to join. Just come on in, tell us where you're from, comment, all that good stuff. But we want to talk about empowering women through support. And there's no other person that I would rather talk to about this because she has exemplified and just so wonderfully been an example of supporting other women. And I want to bring her on now. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Miss Precious Monet. Hey, Precious, how are you today?
I am blessed. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Very, very glad to have you on. I know this has been something that I talked to you about earlier this year, but so glad that we had the opportunity today to come on and just talk about empowering women, support, which you're all about. So I'm very grateful that you took the time to be on here with me today. And we want to just jump into it. So just tell us, what is Be Her Support?
Well, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to join your platform. It's very appreciative. So I'm Precious Monet. I'm the Purpose Pusher, and Be Her Support is a business that is a safe haven for women to give and receive support through community connections and collaborations. So what we do is we put on events. And we collaborate with other women, doesn't even have to be in the same state, collaborate with other women to one truly demonstrate what support looks like. Oftentimes we talk about women supporting women, but what does that look like? Because that looks different for everyone. So, for example, my last event I had in April, I had a summit. I allow different speakers to come onto the platform and we collaborated, right? We all have a purpose, and essentially I want people to come together and flourish in their purpose.
Thank you. And I was so honored to be a part of that event. My husband and I both walked away with so many nuggets and I was like, it was new for me. So it was like I was so glad to be a part of it and actually meet like my Instagram friends and people that I had met through Instagram that I never had been introduced to formally like in person. So that was great. And of course, we're not in the same state, but I was so glad to come where you are and to just meet everyone. And I know that it's Be Her Support, but my husband, listen, he left there inspired too. Okay, he left there talking about, hey, y'all women, y'all do it right. He felt supported as a man. So I'm just like, this is just support all around. And I think sometimes that we underestimate the power that we have within ourselves to support other people and even how important and what that means to them. Because when we have no support, when we have no support system, no one backing us, it can be a little difficult to continue on. So thank you for that. I would like to know though, like what inspired you to start Be Her Support?
So, how Be Her Support was birthed was actually due to the lack of support that I received from women that look like me. Back when I was in the corporate world, I was always faced. Well, let me backtrack. I was always given the opportunity to climb the ladder very quickly. God has blessed me with those talents. So, as I climbed the ladder, every time I turn around, it was always African American women that either did not support me. I've had instances where they have gone behind my back and gone to the president of the company and tell them that I am not worthy of a position. So I was faced with so many different hardships when it comes to women that look like me. At one point, I'm like, okay, what's is it me? You know, at one point of my life, I was mad because I'm like, here I am flourishing in my career. And when I turn around and look, there was no one that celebrated me. So I had to learn one to first celebrate myself. And then it challenged me because at one point I was mad at women. I was like, both women. So I birthed Be Her Support because I want now, I can't reach everyone, right? But If I can touch one woman and feel like I can provide them with the support that they're lacking, that is all that matters to me. Is to spread the word of not only being your support, and side note, be his support will eventually be coming soon, but not only just to say be her support, but to be able to build a community of women that really understand the mission, really understand the values of demonstrating the behavior and not just saying it.
Right. Well, I might be that one woman, and I know it's plenty more, but you definitely touched my life with your event in April, to be her support summit. So I want to say goal accomplished. I know it's one of many, but I know that there are many, many more people that you've touched, and just by like the whole vibe in the room. Like that spoke for itself. So you did that. You did
Thank
you
you.
did that.
Thank you.
And so I know you have a lot more, but are there any success stories that other than mine that you would like to share? Like, because I know you have testimonials. So what are people saying about Be Her support? What's the rumble? Because I know it's some stuff going on.
You know what? The rumble is okay. You hear the name Be Her Support. It's like, yeah, support. But when you're touched by an event, when you're touched by a speaker, when you truly realize, like, dang, I'm not in it alone, it's like people have that awe moment. People are still talking about that summit, and here we are in October. And for me, it's so fulfilling that people can talk about one event that they attended, that they felt inspired, that they felt truly supported in that moment, and change their perspective of life. That, hey, I don't have to do life alone, right? There's actually people, there's actually tribes of women that want to demonstrate what support looks like. So we continue to stay connected, we build genuine relationships, and we just keep the thing going. And that's how we want to impact the community, is to continue to do these events and continue to get the word out, and to continue to build women that we can come together, put together events. We all can shine in our purpose, and it's not a competition.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna piggyback on that by saying not only, what they say, I'm not alone and I'm supported, but they may also say, this is how you support. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, pull, oh my God, like, man, this is what it really looks like to support other women. Like we're not in competition. None of us have any shine of our own anyway. We reflect God's light, right? Like
Right.
my brother used to say, we are the moon, God is the sun. We have no shine of our own except that we reflect his light. And if we're all reflecting his light, that's what the goal is, right?
Amen.
So by
Right.
me pulling that in there, like, what has God done in your life through? Because I know he been working. So tell me, like, with this is Faith It Friday, like, how has your faith come into play? Like, what has God done for you through Be Her support?
What has God not done for me? Okay. One and foremost, He is the head of my life, right? I don't start a day without Him. I have my quiet time, and I tell you, let me miss my quiet time, my whole day is thrown off, right? So, my strength actually got stronger when I was going through that phase of not really caring for women. Right, I shut down at one point. Right before I truly birthed Be Her support, it was like, you know what? I'm not feeling women. I hate to use the word hate, but I hated women at one point, and that at that point of my life, it forced me to spend more time with God. And I said, okay, started my quiet time. I'm like, all right, Lord. And then when I got when I got the Be Her support birth, and I was like, so I just told you, Lord, I ain't really feeling this woman, but this is what you want me to do, is to pour into women. So I struggled with that. I'm gonna be honest. I struggled with it for a while. It took me a while to launch, and when I finally did, I had to realize, hello, I'm not walking alone. God is walking with me. Right. So I had to strengthen my faith in my walk, in my purpose, to help other people find their purpose. And when I realized that, I'm like, okay, all right, you right here, God. And I still have to be consistent to this day. This is not, it's not a one-time thing. It's not a, okay, we birth be her support. I'm walking in my purpose and I know God's with me. I'm still faced with challenges. I still come across women that don't have good intentions. And when I do, I have to continue to have my faith and trust him and don't get discouraged. Like, it's easy to say, okay, I only have X amount of people showing up for this event. I'm done. It's easy to do that, but because my walk with faith is so strong, the minute I even half a second think about being discouraged, he literally says, "Tap tap tap, Precious. Hello." I'm right here. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know why I'm tripping. So for me, it's not just a one-time thing. It's an ongoing walk with God. And I have to make sure that I continue to put him first. I continue to have my quiet time. And the minute I get discouraged, I always turn to him.
Wonderfully said. Yeah, I definitely can relate to all that. But I want to run it back real quick because you said that when you it was a point in time like where you hated women because of what you had gone through and things like that. But now looking back, because we know hindsight is 2020, they say life is lived forward, but understood backwards, right? So can you see in that how he worked that thing out that came against you? He worked that thing out for your good because you love him and you're called according to his purpose, right? So can you see how that thing that you had to go through, even though it was not pleasant, at the time, even though, you were faced with adversity and other women were hating on you, and you're like, where is this coming from? Like, I'm a good person, and I've never, displayed that to other women. So why is this coming back to me? But do you see how like his hand was all over it, setting you up to give birth to something that you didn't even know you were carrying?
Who you telling? Like, I didn't understand when I was going through it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's blood, sweat, and tears, and crying, and betrayal, and all of that. When you're going through it, you don't understand, but it's not meant for us to understand. So now looking back, like you said, it's like, okay, Lord, you had to help me get through fears. You had to help me get through anxiety. You had to help me get through betrayal. You had to get me through sabotage. And I understand it now, so I can help women with those same things that they're going through and those feelings and what that looks like. But if I didn't go through those, I don't even think Be Her Support would have been birth, because I had to experience it myself in order to be able to help others.
Amen. Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head because we never go through things for ourselves. Like we always go through it for somebody else to always reach back and what they say, pay it forward, or whatever we learn, we want to make sure that we're passing on it and grabbing those other women. And to me, that is the epitome of being her support, right? Pulling them with you. Like, I've been through this. Come on, girl. You can make it through. I know it's hard now. You don't see it, but I've been through what you've been through. Maybe not this exact thing, but I've been through the hurt and the betrayal. And I've been through, all this stuff. Listen, we'll be here all night talking about this. This is so good. So I want to move on though, because you're not just the founder and CEO of Be Her Support. You are an author, and you have not one, but two books that I have to still get. I haven't forgotten, but I want you to tell us about your books and tell us, like, what they're about. Tell us how we can get them. I want to also type it in here on the screen. So if you just, I'll put your IG on here too, or in the comments. They'll be on here, y'all. So just make sure y'all go grab the books, go and be Precious Monet's support, etc. So tell us about your books and everything else we can do.
So one of my books is Free Yourself from Yourself, right? So this book helps with the 7 keys of breaking through the barriers of fear and anxiety. So remember, I talked about I had to go through some fear. I had to go through some anxiety when I was dealing with that phase in my life where I essentially said I hated women. So I wrote that book, one, to help myself heal and to be able to share with others on tools and things that I utilize to help me overcome my fears and my anxiety. And then my other book is Without Passion, What's the Purpose? So, of course, that book is more about purpose. So, I think for me, the reason why I did 2 books is I had to, one, get over my fear and anxiety to be able to truly walk in my purpose. So to me, it's kind of like a twofold when it comes to the 2 books. But my books are on Amazon. I wanted to create a tool to be able to help people find their purpose. A lot of people don't realize that when you're passionate about something, it never feels like work.
Sorry, I'm getting a ticker here to make sure that people can go and or the little thing here. There we go. Yep, books on Amazon. I'll put the links in the comments as well when everything is uploaded so they can follow you on IG, buy your books on Amazon. Is it possible that we can get signed copies? Because I know on Amazon we cannot.
Well, you can go on my actual website,
Okay.
preciousmonet.com, if you want a personal signed copy and request a copy that way. And I will
Okay.
personally sign it for you.
Okay, because I was like, that's what I'm on. So I want to make sure I put all that information in the comments for you all. So before we wrap up, I want to ask you about any upcoming events that you want to share with us.
Yes. So we have a sneaker ball. It is the Power to Persevere sneaker ball on October 21st. Now, this is our first sneaker ball. Now, Beer Support has been doing events for a couple of years now. We traditionally do empowerment events, conferences, summits, webinars. And I wanted to do something a little different for the sneaker ball. And because October is the month of breast cancer and domestic violence, I am collaborating with Cage, which is from Influence Her Media. She is a domestic violence survivor. And then for me, my grandmother actually had passed away from breast cancer. So I want to honor my grandmother this go round. Yes, it's all about women empowerment essentially, but it's really more so about perseverance, right? Life be life. We all know we all go through something. So even though you have not gone through breast cancer, either though you have not gone through any kind of cancer or domestic violence, you have gone through something in your life that you overcame, that you need to overcome. And this is the event that you want to be at in order to come in the room, feel empowered, feel motivated, that you can get through life and not alone. Be her support. October 21st in Atlanta, Georgia,
Yes. You said what time was it again?
4 o'clock Eastern
4
Standard
o'clock.
Time.
4 o'clock. Okay, so that's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Weeks and
Ticket
ticket.
sales, yeah, ticket sales end on October 15th. So you only got what? We got 8 or 9 days left to grab it, snatch up your tickets. And they're on Eventbrite. Also on my Instagram. You can find that information in my bio.
Got it. Before we wrap up, and I know I said that already, but I want to find out, other than following you on IG, buying your books, are there any other ways that we can be your support?
Well, one, if you can make it out to the event October 21st, I would love to see you obviously person in person again. Anyone that watching this, I would love to meet you in person. Come out, support, get motivated, come out for dinner, have a blast. Who don't want to get dressed up? It's an all formal black attire with traces of either pink or purple, and then sneakers, which is a little different. If you can't make it to that event, stay connected with me on my website, preciousmonet.com. That has all my information, both of my books. I also have a planner. It's coming up on the new year. It's a dateless planner. You can start it when you're ready. So I do have that as well. That's listed on my website. But yeah, go ahead and connect with me, Precious Monet, the Purpose Pusher.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And I've known you now for, I think it was 2020 during the pandemic. So
Yep.
it's been about 3 years, and I have nothing but good things to say about you, what you've created, your support of me. It was like, I don't even know her. She's like a stranger. And it just, I was like, what's going on? What's going on? So thank you for showing me what women's support is all about, because you've truly impacted, that part of my life. And I really, really appreciate it. Again, trying to get my ticket. I'm hoping, trying to grab a friend. If she's watching, we gotta go. But anyway, I just want to thank you again for coming on. Y'all connect with Precious Monet at Be Her Support on IG. And if all hearts and minds are clear, we're going to go ahead and end. Any last words that you have?
No, thank you again for having me on your platform. I love the fact that we stay connected. This truly demonstrate what support looks like. We, like you said, we met a couple of years ago. We still are connected. It's genuine, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. And thank you again for coming on. Uh-oh. Look, we got a comment. God's blessings to both of you. Thank you, Cheryl Jackson. All
Thank
right.
you.
Take care.